kind of doing a slightly different stream because I'm traveling at this point, and yeah, while I'm traveling, not missing the TypeScript tea time, at least not today. Tomorrow I will kind of move it, and then we're back next week, Tuesday, as usual. Yeah, so that's why today no camera, also a different microphone, and everything is slightly different, and I don't have two screens. But I think we'll manage, right? Everything is slightly closer, everything here. Like the microphone is in a different position and so on. So yeah, bear with me, but it's still gonna be fun. We are, as usual, at least in our Tuesday stream, accept optional property types. Let me just switch my TypeScript version. Probably that's the issue here. TypeScript version 4.3. Here's config. Go. Just let it build here for a second, and then we have that of override. Let's remove that one as well for now. Okay, and I think now we are in the TypeScript state that we had on last week, which also makes it work. Onto the side and see. Yay, there is our app, as well as if we go to the main scene, then we can, as I said, technically we're kind of in a more complicated situation today than we were last week, including my mouse not working, but I guess then we just use the touchpad. If we switch this here to true, it should reload at some point, and then there we go. We have our app. Perfect. Now, let me just double check that currently the desktop audio is not shared. Perfect. Localhost is shared, but I think we can stop that. In fact, we can hide it. So, okie dokie. There we go. Now, we have our little to-do list on the top left, which I cannot see, but we have it here. And the first one that we wanted to add is this fire SFX. So if we go back to our game, we have last week we added this cast fire. Looks like this, and it does quite some damage. We are missing the audio for that. So that's what I was looking for. Here's the fire.mp3 file. And from there we can do the usual thing. We go into our loading scene. We include the audio. For example, we call this one fire. Then we call, this is the file name, fire.mp3, and it's already in the correct directory. Also need to stop the audio here because it's kind of confusing. And now under the name fire, we can use that to make some noises. Make some noise. For example, I think it's in the adventurer who is casting fire. There we go. And right here we can just say, okay, instead of when you cast fire, please play the following sound with the key fire, which is our fire.mp3, because we did the mapping just now. And then, okay, so adding some volume settings. Probably I want it to be slightly lower volume, and now I just have to remix that to find the correct volume. So 0.2 doesn't sound too bad, to be honest. Can I change the speed? I think I can, right? We have the rate here, which is, I think, the speed with which it gets played. And I do want to increase that. Yeah, I think that's good. And that's already it. That's our feature number 1 for today. Wait, main scene hasn't changed, right? No, it hasn't. But this one has changed. Bams. And then we can say, okay, we want to, so we have episode. Did I actually include the episode in the name? I think I forgot to change that. Just 27 and 36. Done. So episode 36, we have fire sound effect, or add, or asset, I think is what we use. Fire sound effect. Fire magic sound effect. There we go. And that's one done, right? It's already one down the drain. Done. Something with fire. There it is. So next one is reapplying the original tint after an attack. So we have a bug. We have a bug that all those, so when a monster is tinted, this one probably isn't tinted, but let's look at one that is tinted. Here, this one. It has a like greenish shimmer on top of it. And if we, let me just go to the monster. I think everything is disabled right now. Skip intro, dev config. Do we still apply that? Apparently we don't. Yeah, okay, apparently we do not apply these values here. But this one, for example, has a light tint. We can see that from the org war chief. In our asset list, we see that it has a tint applied to itself of this slightly greenish color. Yep, this slightly greenish. And the problem is that when we attack, we set the tint of the monster to red to make it like give it a flash effect because it received some damage. The problem with that is that after that, to get rid of the red tint, we just clear everything. We just clear the complete tint, which makes it so that the complete tint from here is also unapplied, and we only see the red king. Looks like this here. How do I zoom? Okay, apparently I cannot zoom with just my mouse. With just my touchpad. Well, so I think the solution to that is that we try to reapply the tint after it has been cleared, if the tint has been set. That said, we probably have take damage here. There it is. We do receive damage. Yeah, sometimes we call it receive damage, sometimes we call it take damage. I think we should also unify that, but yeah. First of all, we set the health bar correspondingly. We show this damage number, like took 5 damage. We have our red color, and then we set the tint. And after some time, after 300 milliseconds, we clear this tint. But what we actually want to do here is the following, I think. So we clear the tint, and then we have the config at the from the very beginning. saved somewhere? We don't have it saved anywhere. Maybe we should do that. Private. Oops. Private. Sprite config. Render config maybe. And this is what exactly? It's this kind of an object. No, it's more. It's actually this here. Monster mapping something something. Yeah. That's it. So this is a type of this. And then at position 0. We have to import it. Type of. So now this should be correctly typed. Yeah. So it has a name, it has a key, it has an alpha scale, and tint possibly. And we need to set this friend. For example, here. This dot. What did I call it? Render config. Go. It's the render config. Okay. So it's complaining because find might not find it. So what we can do is render config is render props here. And then we can still use it right there. Although I would say we probably just switch this to this.render config for consistency. And only ever use the render props basically for setting this. So now we have access to this configuration out in the whole class scope. That means we can go back to our receive damage function, and in here we can this.set the tint to this.render config.tint, right? And apparently it also is optional, which means if we just provide nothing, then everything is fine. And that's it. I mean, there would have been another way. The other option would have been to do the following. We could have had a constant original tint, and then we say this.tint, and then we just would have set this one to the original tint. But I think it actually makes sense to save the config in the object for the future. Not 100% sure whether we need it, but I think it might become useful. Okay, and that should fix our little bug that we had. The question is, how do we actually test it other than just playing? I think the answer is we cannot. That's the unfortunate part here. Other than actually playing it. Render props, tint, normalized size, alpha. There we set the tint. Yeah, sounds good to me. VS Code, no, thank you. And from there we say episode 36, we have a fix in this case because we fixed the bug. And there's avoid removing original monster tint after attack. or during attack. When monster receives damage. Okay. Is that it? Shall we test it? I think we should. It's, however, not trivial for me to actually test it. With just one screen, I mean. So let's maybe try this. We open this one. And now, in the meantime, I can go here. We can exclamation mark join. Apparently we cannot. The backend is not running. The backend is not running. Let me just start that one. There we go. So, exclamation mark ambush. We probably want to remove the monster that we're currently seeing. Alright. That worked. Now, exclamation mark ambush. Oh my god, it's a monster. It's an Aether. Do you have a tint? I don't think you have a tint. Yet. So. That one didn't work. We need to get one who has a tint applied. Just refresh this. Exclamation mark ambush again. Do you have a tint applied? Oh, it doesn't seem to be. Right. Another flea. Maybe. So I will go into the monster configuration. This. And just for every monster inside of here, I will simply add a tint. Is that so easy? It's not. Then, okay. So it's not that easy, but what we can do is we can do a dot map. Then we take m and we map it to an object with dot 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 m and tint, I don't know, black, which is hashtag 00000 1 2 3 4 5 6. Is that correct? Yeah, the white tint actually does nothing and the black tint just tints it in black. So now what we should see is when we attack, it gets tinted into red. And we actually see the monster. And after that, after 300 milliseconds, it gets tinted back to black. Back in black. So, ambush. Final attempt. There it is. Okay, that definitely worked. Now we can join and we can start attacking. Yeah, perfect. And that's it. Nice. And we did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Wow, jetzt seid ihr dran. We did it. Which means we have, I think, another one moving to done. Yay! And we can move to the next one. Data-driven monster damage. So this is going to be fun, because it's going to span both back-end and front-end. And I need to remove the tint here. So let's go to the main scene again and we re-enable the dev mode. We re-enable dev mode and now what? So, can you actually see the screen? Yes, you can. Now, what we have is the following. We have our monster data here, as you can see. For example, we have which is just an array of JSON data, basically. An array of pure objects without any functionality. For example, we have a doppelganger who lives in the city and who's of type monstrosity and has 70 HP. Currently, actually, everything has 70 HP. The idea that I have is that right here, we do this, then we do that, and then we say damage, max damage, is equal to, and then, so currently it's 20, but it might become more depending on the monster. For example, a Warrat, for example, shouldn't do the same damage as Rakshasa, I think. Let's just see some pictures. Rakshasa. Yeah, that one looks pretty badass. Maybe DnD. This kind of humanoid. Tiger. Compared to a Warrat DnD. Who also actually looks pretty badass. And I don't know which one I would like to meet. If I had to choose. So there's a greater Warrat, there's a rat, there's a giant rat, there's a Warrat, and there's a greater Warrat. And the greater Warrat is actually as big as a human. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. So maybe those weren't the best, but probably the vampire, for example, is stronger than the vampire spawn. And then what we can do is we can just change this number here to allow us our monsters make more damage or less damage, depending. Yeah, just completely data driven. And I think that's already the whole idea. And now that I think about it, it's actually not as bad as it might sound. I don't think we actually have to touch the front end, now that I think about it. The max damage simply has to be applied inside of the monster object, who receives some properties, and in particular it should receive max damage here, which by default, let's say, is 20. So we don't have to write 20 all the time. And instead we can just concentrate on a few chosen ones to apply more damage, for example, or less damage, depending on what we want. So I think we can remove this one, and we can remove all of that one. You don't like that? Ah, because it's a... We have to do this, and then we say max damage is equal to 20. I think that works, right? Yeah, this is how you do object defaults, basically. Or maybe not, because now things are weird. Why is there no... Where did the name of the function go? Okay, so second try. This works. Now max damage equal to 20. That works as well. Okay. And this we can just... We need to save it actually. It's the name log area. Suppose we do. Because we need it down here. Okay, so the default is apparently 19. Other deck, let's see. Max damage is 20, but we do minimum damage of 1 always. So probably like this. And then we can, I think this is actually a private property. Max damage, which is a number. And which gets set right here. This dot max damage is max damage. Thank you, GitHub Copilot. And in here we can just say now this dot max damage -1. We randomize across that one. And then we take +1. Right? Does random, I always forget, does it include the maximum or not? That's not what I wanted. Let's see, node. Const random is equal to require of no dash. Then we say random of, let's say 5 or 3, 2, 3. Okay, so it's included. We take 19. Maybe we do a for loop here. For const I equals 1, comma I smaller than 20. I think it's a semicolon. I is smaller than 20. I plus plus do random of 20. That didn't work. Okay. Did it? With random of 3, we also get 0. Okay, so we probably get, if we do random of 19, we also include 0 at some point. But it's just too lucky. There it is. Nice. Okay. So let's close this one out. And that means actually don't need the, we do need the +1. Wait. We do need the +1, and because we take +1 there, we need to take -1 here, right? And this evens it out in total. Good. And is that it? Well, that was much easier than I expected. That was like extremely easier than I expected it. Yeah, that was way easier than I expected it. I think that's it already. So, backend has started anew, which means now we can, for example, if we go here and we set the max damage button to 1, this should make fighting the monster fairly easy, shouldn't it? Now let's try that out. Open another window here. We go to the main scene. And we disable our development mode again. So, exclamation mark, ambush. The Manticore. Now, if we join and we wait for the monster to attack, then we should see that it only does 1 damage, or 2 maybe. Yeah, maximum of 2. Maybe we should have sped it up a bit. Yeah, it's also an idea. We just speed up everything so it attacks more often, but we just make everything much stronger. I didn't look. Damn it. But we can still see it in the console here. It did 1 damage apparently. It did only 1 damage. Yeah, so how is that? I think that's not a bad idea to speed things up. Yeah, seems to work. So if we make everything just faster, the monster stronger, I think that makes for much more interesting battles. Possibly. Let's try that. Yeah, it always only does 1 damage. Perfect. So let's close that one out. Bye bye. So this works perfectly fine. That said, we can remove it now, but we now have the option to actually provide it, which is great. And in here we actually say you only do 10 or 15 damage, let's say. Maybe 10. And we go into the, let's say 15. And we go into the battle to see the time until next attack is provided from the outside. Okay. Here. Battle. Yeah. 30 seconds. So let's make it 20. 15 even. This makes it, I think, much more interesting to do stuff, play with. So I think we can actually move that one out of the commit, and inside of here we changed it to 15, and then we can say add, maybe we actually add one of the monsters making more damage. For example, a Rakshasa does max damage 1d8. Nope, that's not what we do. We do, it's just, let's say this one does 20 damage. And the Revenant does max damage, I don't know, 25 maybe. Perfect. Add episode 34. No, it's 36, right? Episode 36. What happened? Yeah, 36. Add data-driven monster damage. There we go. And now we add another one for episode 36. We do an update, which is, or change, time turn timer to 15 seconds. There we go. And this makes it much more interesting. So that means we actually we're actually done with all that we wanted to do. Here's one interesting one that I wanted to do. Leroy Jenkins. I don't know whether I want it in as a sound effect or whether I want that in in the game. Hmm. They showing health bar and focus. Inventory and items, production server and database. Do I still show the... No, everything's fine. Perfect. Yep. So, perspective. Money and shopping, inventory and items. Come on, mouse. Please work. Computer mouse. You can do it. I know you can. Doesn't want to. So we can do Leroy Jenkins, or we can think about the level up indicator. So when a person receives a level up, something should be visible. So let's maybe go to just image search, level up indicator. Pop up. RPG. Level up RPG. Level up Tetsuo. Level up. That's definitely not coming in. Also, this doesn't kind of work. By the way, I yesterday started playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it's good. It is surprisingly good. What kind of games have you been playing recently? Maybe you have actually tried out the Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's kind of a Final Fantasy 15, but just better, to be honest. Let's see. Get modded by earning XP from real life challenges. No, thank you. I don't need a real life. Stupid. This one might work. Level up. Yeah, we could show something at the bottom. What might be a good indicator? I mean, first of all, I think we need to change the logic that actually calculates the level ups. Now that I think about it, we do have the adventurer schema right there, and the level up is just ridiculous. Where is the level up actually? Do we do that in the chatbot? Not really, do we? Battle? Level... We don't. Where do we set the level? Chatbot. Yes. Level. There we go. So we just take 1 plus math.floor. Well, that's simple. we took it very simple. Basically taking every 300 XP we level up. That's a bit much, and I see that, for example, we have localhost 3000/adventure at TypeScript tea time. I'm already at level 15 because I make so many battles on our stream here. That said, I want to change this at least slightly. Let's see, maybe we take every level up costs 15% more than the previous level up. How does that sound? That's a fairly straightforward formula, I think. with at least some thinking, it should be. And it should be still super easy to implement, I think. We don't need to do any structural changes at that front, I think. The problem that I see here is yeah, I do think I want to move this into the adventurer. So adventurer. So let's maybe do something like this. Adventurer.getXP, add experience. And then we say 100 here. And adding experience also causes it. Why do I not have anything? Because we don't have document type. Adventurer schema. Are we in the right one? Yes, we are. Okay, perfect. Oh, take damage. I don't know. Let's go here. Public, add experience. We give it some experience, which is a number. And then we say, well, this.experience is experience. I don't want to do that just yet, but it's a good idea. What we do want is this.level. Let's see. Const level is equal to. So now things get interesting. What was this idea? We take the square root of this.experience. Square root is also nice because the square root graph. The graph moves fairly nicely. Although it increases fairly quick now, doesn't it? It increases fairly quick. Which means, so for example, if we added at 100, we can normalize it. Then you for the first level, it's not just the regular, the normalized amount of battles that you need, or wins that you need. Then you need the 3 times that much. Then you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times that much, and then it increases very rapidly. What is not the square root, but x to the 1.5? Wait, no, not 1.5, but 3/4, which is still essentially the square root. Chart. Shouldn't it? I mean, x to the 1/2 is the square root, right? Yes. What is it? Math Wolfram alpha. What I want is x to the 3/4. Please plot that for me. Yeah, that looks good. And I do want to have it in the range larger. Larger than this. Real valued plots. That's good. Enlarge. No, I don't want to download the data. Thank you. But I do want to have its math input. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. And third root. And what I want here, maybe we can take this x and then we square that. They're the same. I forgot everything about math. News here, nope. With x in 0, 0 to, I don't know, 100. It doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad. Can we make that in JavaScript? JavaScript third root. Not the nth root, just the third root. Oh yeah. Perfect. That sounds good. So this is math.floor is perfect. Then we want to have math.power of our experience, and we take 2 over 3, right? Yeah. And why do you not like that? Okay, that's the reason. And now we just have to normalize it. For example, every 200 divided by this .xp, which means every 2 levels, every 2 fights, we get one of those, right? We plot this from 0 to 20. Maybe we can see a bit more. This means, so after the, so where's 1? There's 1. There's 2. I don't know. So what this part makes, it kind of normalizes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, given every 2 battles. So here we have num battles half, essentially, because we get 100 XP per round. And then we take 2 to the third root squared, which means, for example, after 5 of these, we have level 3. After 10 of these, we have level 4. After 15 of these, we have level 6. And so on. And then it becomes fairly linear. I think that's it. It also doesn't stagnate completely. So I think we're good here with this new formula. And I think we can actually just say this dot level. And maybe just for the loads, we do the following. So we take 200 minus x and we say 4,500, which means this is the current level of my character, which would be, that's not correct, divided. Jesus. Divided by 4,500. So the math input is definitely new. I haven't used it so far, but I like it. It's vice versa. 4,500 divided by 200. Aha. Yeah. My bad. Divided by 200. That's okay. So for example, the next level is at 4,800 probably, which is in one or two battles. And then the level after that is probably fairly far away, which makes sense. So at the beginning, you get levels fairly regularly. For example, 400, 200. You get the next one at 600 after another 4 battles. You get the next one at, I don't know, 1,000. Not quite. 1,100. So it's 200, 400. So how much additional XP do you need? For the first level, you have so from 0 to 1, you have 200 XP. Then from 0 to 2, you have 200. Then you have, I think, 500. Yes, 500. And then it becomes more and more, I don't know, 1,700. Yeah. Then it becomes 600. And now we're starting to grow fairly rapid. No, still kind of linear, but slightly more than linear, which I think is not a terrible thing. So 600, yeah, 1,100, and then 1,700 was it, right? $600. Oh, you already get it at 1,600. Well, that's good as well. And so on. And to those people who actually get that far, congratulations, my friends. And then we actually say, okay, that's why I didn't want to assign it at once. Is the level is smaller than level const leveled up is equal to this dot level is small, no, level is greater than this dot level. If leveled up, then we push to the front end an event that this person has leveled up, and level up for target this dot username. Current XP, I don't know whether we need that, so I'll remove it. Level, and then we say level, and we need to of course say this dot level is the new level. Why did it like this? Oh, okay. And right here we can go into the events. We can say, okay, interface, level up, leveled, because we events are in the past tense. Probably need to change that here as well. Leveled up. Then we have a level and a target. Target is string. And the level is a number. Why do not like this? Because we don't export it. We also need to include that right here. Somewhere. Like that. And that's it. Now this we can also move to the backend. There's a better way to do this. I found that out now. But I won't do it today. Because we're almost at the end now for our session today. As I said, because of the slightly weird setup, I would like to change. This week I would like to kind of shorten the amount of things we're doing today. Which means, yeah, so we get level ups, perfect. We also now get those sent to the front end. Now we just have to animate them, right? And then I think that's about it. So exclamation mark to do. Animate level ups. One issue that we currently have is with legacy. Because my level is actually higher than the level that gets calculated here. Which means this won't trigger. Instead, I think we just have to change it in the database. We can post the adventurer. You have the experience there. You can also go over the database and apply this function. It's also an option. How do we do that, ideally? And I would like to do it now instead of next week, because I will forget it. Knowing myself good enough. So, H. Kostovich, would you be, or Mace's Grace, would you still be on this level? For example? Exactly at 1600, which is level 4. Well, then let's not steal levels from the people who already have their levels. Or let's do it anyway. Sorry. Let's still do it. Kusto, you probably, I think you also get 1 level less. Oh, you actually get 2 levels less, my friend. Yeah. That's rough. The good thing is, so we need to update Kusto, Mace's Grace, and myself. And the way we can do this is by going to test. I would like to... Can we just set the level? Is that an option? Where's my controller? It's been a while that we looked at those controllers. So we have a post who receives this create adventure DTO, and it we have a patch. That's the important one. He has HP, experience, and the username, and only those get applied. So also take level inside of here, number. No, wait. We calculate those from the adventurer.add experience 0, which means it automatically updates the. It doesn't update the level. Damn it. What we can do is we force update, comma, force update level, which is by default false. If it leveled up, or we get force update level, then if force update level, we set the level, and that's it. Yeah. So add experience 0, and we force update the level, and then we save. But only if update.experience has been set. Then we want to do this. Okie dokie. Now we also need to provide it right here. Level. The level comes from right here, and it needs to be inside of this. Wait, no. Never mind. We don't need it here. Because we calculated from the experience. So let's add. That should be it, except for when it's not. Oh, did we forget something with the max damage is not assignable? Undefined is not assignable to number. That's correct. Number should be an optional here. That's one thing that we forgot apparently earlier. But we can do a fix up for that one. So let's do that one first. Git commit ---- fix up equal to add data driven monster damage. Yes. Then git rebase. Let's first add this fun stuff here. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. And now we start the server again. We run the update logic for the 3 people that we need to. For example, TypeScript time, who has no level but who has 4400 XP, non-existent, none. We don't want post, we want patch. Patch. There we go. So Mace's Grace, you have 1600 experience. 100. It doesn't work. Now we patch you. You now have been unfortunately degraded to level 3, but now that's more correct actually. H. Kostovich also demoted unfortunately to level 2 apparently. Very close to level 3. Oh, do we take +1? Oh, we forgot to take +1, right? Oh, I think we did. We forgot to take +1. Schema. We did. So this must be 1 plus. 1 plus. All of the fun stuff. Oh, very good. Then we don't need to demote them that much. So, Kusto. Internal server error. What did I do? Canary property push of undefined. What did I do? Because he did level up in this case. Then just else if, oh my goodness, what just happened? What is happening? Oh, we are in the JS file. That's not right. Never go into the JS file. Else. That's better. Okay. Now. Do it again. Now he's level 3. Perfect. Now, Mace's Grace also wants an update. You are now level 4 again, my friend. And then TypeScript T time also needs an update for 4,400 experience points. Level 8. Jesus Christ. It's reduced me. Oh, HP have been zeroed. That's not ideal. Let's go down to 2000. Better. And what is weird here is that HP have been zeroed. 150 again. Full heal. Where do we set the controller? Adventurer schema, adventurer controller. HP. Interesting. What does it actually... Well, not a problem for now. We just heal everybody now. For the time being. Thank you. The other guys also get their HP set to 0? No, they didn't. Was I just dead? I mean, that's an option, right? Where did Kusto? Oh, H. Kostovich 1. And then 1000. And just reload, right? No, everything is fine. All right. That worked. So here we can, in theory, set the HP. Just to demonstrate that. Okay, cool. I think that's about it. Now we can change our logic in the chatbot that originally that still applies the fun stuff. And now we just say, well, do this. Done. Go. And then save it. Perfect. And that ends it, I think. Which means we now can say episode episode 36 add level up calculation plus emit event, so that it can be consumed on the front end. And this we push, and with that, my friends, I thank you all for coming. Hope you have a beautiful day so far, and continue to have. And we'll see each other next week on Tuesday, same time, 13 o'clock, and then again on Wednesday at 18 o'clock, Central European summertime. We're still in summertime, although that's about to be to end, right, in just a month. So thank you so much, have a great day, and see you next time. Bye bye. Thanks for joining me.